I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get my just waiting for people to join. I'm gonna go get my hair tied because I want to get my hair out of my face. So I will be right back. Shit, where did it go? Oh no! That's bad. Well, there won't be any hair tied this morning because I can't find the thing. I don't know where my hair tie is. Wow, there's already 15 people. I'm sorry. I want to put my hair up so bad. Where the hell? Anyway, good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm okay. I would be better if I could get this hair up off of my neck. I really don't want to sit here with my hair down. I'm going to go get a rubber band. I got a rubber band. Okay, I have a rubber band. I can use a rubber band. I have a big thick rubber band. There we go. Woo! Okay, I feel better. Man, I love my hair, but when I get sick of it on my neck, it's got to go, like right away. Okay, good morning, everybody. It's nice to see everybody here. This is cool. Thank you for joining. Story time with the Butterhead. What kind of stories do we want to hear today? Thank you. I feel really lucky for that. It's really thick because a lot of people lose hair volume when they get older, and because mine has been so thick all my life, I lost volume, but not enough to make it like I don't have hair anymore. So it freaks me out sometimes when I look at myself in this reflection in this camera, because it's like I'm looking at my mother sometimes. It's like, holy shit, I just saw my mother in there. Sometimes I see one of my sisters or the other sister. About my life when I traveled. Oh, I could continue the college stories. Come on, get up. The college stories are right, Diva? Do you follow me still? See, a lot of people, I think who you see depends on how many people you follow. The Moderna vaccine is 94% effective. Hang on a second. CNN just did a news flash. The Moderna vaccine is 94.5% effective against COVID-19. Okay, Moderna is 94.5% effective. You only get my lives. Yeah, see, I think that TikTok, for all the touting of how wonderful their algorithm is, TikTok really doesn't, they're still working on their algorithm. I don't know why you don't get all of my stuff. I think they're still working kinks in the algorithm out. So That could be why. I don't know. I don't get a lot of other people. TikTok cut me off just now? No, TikTok did not cut me off. I'm on YouTube. College, you were talking about, left off on the professor. Okay, so the professor that rooked me into the professor that tried to get me to give him sexual favors for a grade. Yeah, and he got his. Good morning, Mimi. So then I went through. I changed my major after that guy got kicked out. I became a computer science major. You got him back after the grades. That's right. After he changed his mind last minute. He tried to lure me down to the music building after the final on a Friday night. He wanted me to come down to his music building after the final on a Friday night to take the final. He'll give me the final special. And I told him, no, bullshit. You're not getting me down there by myself in your building. Are you fucking kidding me? You give me the C and I'll see you at the dean's office on Monday morning. And of course I got the A. He didn't get to go to the dean's office until 2 months later. But same shit still happened because you don't fuck with me. Don't try to fuck me over like that because I will get you back. You're the one who brought that shit to me. I just bested you at your game. You know, you're the one who came thinking you were going to get something out of me by pressuring me for a grade. I beat you at your own game, so you need to just go the fuck on. Anyway, so I continued on through college. My freshman year, in the next semester in the fall, I had moved into on-campus housing. So I lived in an apartment, a one-bedroom. I went from a 2,000 square foot house with 2 pools in the backyard and a 2-car garage. I went from that to living in a one-bedroom house, in a one-bedroom apartment on campus with my teenage daughter. So I had to downsize and move into a little tiny apartment. So my daughter and I are living in this apartment that is family housing on a university campus. So of course we are the only family there. The rest of the people living there are kids or young married couples or, you know, like 6 people in the same fucking apartment type thing. And so that was pretty miserable. But finals week in the fall, finals week, so that's like November, I take my daughter to school and drop her off in the morning and kiss her and say goodbye, have a good day. And I go home to get ready to take finals, and school lets out, and I take her to school, but somebody gives her a ride home. She doesn't come home. I've got finals all week, and my daughter decides to not come home. And I spend the next 3 days looking for my fucking daughter, who decided to go have a party because her best friend was moving away, and they were both grounded because they'd gotten into trouble the week before. Don't kick my shit, Gonzo. So they were both grounded because they'd gotten into trouble the week before, her and her best friend was moving away to another state. So they decided, fuck this, we're just going to go out and have a party for the weekend so we can get to hang out. We'll run away. You aren't going to let us hang out together, so we're going to run away. So this was in 1997. And I am a computer genius in 1997. I'm already, by that time, I was beta testing for Corel. And so I had all kinds of graphics software. So I created what is now known as the first computer generated lost and found flyer. I went to one of the campus's computers and printed a bunch of flyers and put their pictures on them and said, have you seen these children? I've got it in my Facebook my Facebook memories, this poster, a picture of this poster was taken with numbers on the bottom. So I made a whole stack of them, and I took them to the police department, and I handed them out, and I handed them out to school. Only in my flyer, see, they'd gotten into trouble. My daughter and her friend had gotten into trouble the previous weekend because they were seen trying to get into a car with someone other than their parents. And I knew the name of this someone who attempted to pick my daughter and her friend up from the roller rink the week before. And so I put the description of his car and his name on the fucking flyer. That's what you get for trying to pick up a minor at the goddamn roller rink. Now your name is involved in her missing case. Have a nice day, gangster. And then I proceeded, because I needed to study, damn it. I needed to find my daughter, and the police weren't doing enough. So I proceeded to go into the worst part of town where I suspected she was hanging out and pass out flyers and drive all around. And the cops started worrying. Oh no, look at this white lady. Look at this white lady down here in this bad neighborhood handing out flyers. She's going to get killed, and then we're going to look bad. So they started putting pressure on the locals to find out where my daughter was. I was not going to shut up. I started kicking. I called it. I went out, and I don't sit home and wait for my kid. I go home, I can't sleep. All I can do is cry. So I'm going to keep on these goddamn streets until I find her. How about that? And I need to go study. So I'm going to find her right now. I started kicking ant beds. Cops started freaking out because of how hard I was going at it to get my daughter back. They started taking action. Sunday afternoon, my daughter was holed up in a hotel room having a party because her friend got child support. Her dad paid child support, and her mother just gave her the cash. Here, this is your money. You get your child support. You do what you want with it. So a hotel room had been rented. Cops didn't show up at her hotel room. A gangster showed up at her hotel room and said, you got to go home. Your mother is causing too much trouble. You have to go home. They just showed up at my work looking for you. Your white ass has to go home now. And I got my fucking daughter home. Don't play. I don't play. I don't play. She had a gangster who she didn't even know, but she knew of, came to her hotel room and said, you got to go the fuck home. Both of you's got to go home. Because I was causing too much trouble. Cops were showing up at their places of business, and I mean, they just, so yeah, that's how I got my daughter home. That's just some of the shit that I went through. But eventually I ended up moving into a little apartment, and that went well. Until my daughter was a gangbanger, and she was completely out of control. She wasn't going to school. She wasn't listening to anything I said. And I was just trying to focus on paying the bills and getting this degree, because this was my last ditch shot ass chance at getting a degree while I still had extra money for being a single mom. I waited until she was a teenager so I could ignore her ass. Anyway, so she totaled our car. The car was paid off. And it just had collision insurance. It didn't have collisions. It didn't have comprehensive. It just had collision. She lied to me about how she wrecked the car. Smashed in the front end. So I told my daughter, you need to worry about your own transportation now, because the car is gone, and guess what? We don't have money for another car. And not only do you have to worry about getting your own transportation now, Miss Teenager, do whatever the fuck you want, you have to buy me a bicycle so that I can get back and forth to school. And so she did. She bought me a bicycle. And I started riding a bicycle 6 miles each way from my apartment to school. And I rode that bicycle in the sun, 110 degrees, in the ice, in the snow, in the rain. Mostly you don't get a lot of snow in Texas. What you get is freezing rain and ice this thick on the roads. And I rode a bicycle through all of that. through the balance of my education. I would leave the house first thing in the morning, ride to college, stay at the university all day, and come home at night. She had a job. She got a car. So she wrecked my car. She got another car. She decided that she wanted to buy my nephew's car. So I flew to, she was working, so she bought me a plane ticket to go to Florida and pick up my nephew's car during a holiday break from college. So I flew to Florida, got the car. As it turns out, all the brake lines in the car are broken. And the rust is really bad, and the windows don't roll up, and there's no heat. And I drove from Florida back to Texas in this car on a wing and a fucking prayer. As I got on the highway, all the tires started going flat because they were all dry rotted. And so I had to get all new tires, which my dad put it on his credit card because I was in college. I didn't have any money. My dad put it on his credit card, and my daughter paid him back, so she did a good job with that. I got the car home. I got one of my friends to fix all the brake lines, got it running for her. First time she's out joyriding in her car, she tries to make a U-turn at a stoplight, and somehow the steering malfunctioned, and she ended up doing a whole 360 and taking out the cars that were behind her waiting to turn. So she totaled that car. So that's 2 cars within the same year. I know I was so lucky coming back with that car. But you have to understand, I was raised in a family that always had a piece of shit car. So driving a piece of shit car was just, okay, how are we going to coax this car and to continue running until we get home? You know, I was used to driving junkers because I grew up with junkers. So, but she had that car on the road a total of about 3 weeks before she totaled it. So then she bought herself another car. I don't know, she probably spent $150, $200 on that car. And she wrecked that car. Then she bought another car. She came home one day. It was probably around the time that I think I was probably a junior in college. She came home, and I was up. She came home about 2 o'clock in the morning, but I was up working on homework at the computer. So she walked by me and said she was going to bed. I said, okay, good night. The next morning she came out and said, I did tell you I wrecked the car last night, didn't I? And I said, no. You didn't tell me you wrecked the car last night. She said, oh, yeah, I wrecked the car last night. I got out and went and looked at the car. I don't know how she fucking drove it home. I don't know how she drove it home. She wrecked like 4 cars in a 1-year period. At the same time, anytime I would try to tell her what to do or, you know, have any kind of voice against her, she would hit me, she would break my glasses, she would put holes in the walls, she would smash things. I mean, she took my physics book my senior year. Actually, yeah, my junior year or senior year. Physics books cost like $160 each. $160 in the 90s to a single mom who's in college is a lot of fucking money. She got mad at me and took my physics books and put them in a mud puddle. I graduated college despite my teenage daughter, not because of her. And meanwhile, at school, I caught a lot of flack at school because here I'm a fat old lady going to a university with a bunch of young kids, so it was always a constant battle at school. But I did pretty well. Math was really hard for me, but computers are really easy for me. So I was blowing away the majority of my computer classes, but my the math classes were really getting me down. I'm good, Leslie. Nice to see you, honey. We're story time. And I started really getting frustrated because certain teachers weren't giving me the help I felt like I needed. If I went to them, they thought I was just too stupid to be in school. Certain math professors thought I was just too stupid to be in school. You know, here I was, this fat old lady that rode a bike that typically came in soaking wet because I have to ride through all kinds of weather, riding a bicycle, dressing in Walmart clothes that don't match, not caring how she looks. I didn't give a shit how I looked when I was in college. I wore sweatpants and big t-shirts. And so, but the professors were judging me because I was struggling with math. Professors were judging me. And it was getting so hard, and I got so frustrated and so sick of it that I decided to build a website called the Campus Eye. And I found all of the emails for the university. They didn't keep them locked down in the 90s. So I created a website called the Campus Eye, and I put form fields on there to allow people to fill out this form field, and I allowed you to list your professor name, which class you took from him, what testing format they used, what grade you got, and what grade you give the professor. And they would submit that form to me, and I would take that information and fill it into a table and publish it on the website. I used Corel graphics to create real professional looking graphics for 1997. And I built this website, and I gave all my professor grades, and then I spread the flyer. I made flyers, you know, that's what I do. I made flyers for the Campus Eye and put it in every single building on campus for people to see. Go grade your professors. And then I graded one of my math professors, saying that he was too busy working on, I gave him an F. I said he was too busy working on his thesis and chasing skirts to help students who really needed help. And then I emailed a link to that website to every single person on campus, every single student, every single professor, every single person on campus got a link to the Campus Eye. And I know somebody who was standing in the particular professor's office. Yeah, I invented that shit in 1997. I invented that shit in 1997. But instead of going into business, private industry, and using my ideas for my own good, I went to work for a fucking defense contractor, which is a stupid mistake. I should be super rich, right? I did that in 1999, I think, 8 or 9. I mean, it was really hilarious. Somebody who was standing in his office when they heard, when he got that email and saw his grade, he went, oh, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, who saw this? Oh my God, look at this email. I mean, I went in to check on, and I did it under an alias, okay? I created a new email address so that it wasn't my name. I was like the first person to do that shit in 1997. I went in to check on my grades one time into the computer science office, and my computer science professor was sitting there, and I went in and said, have you got the test graded yet? And he said no. So a day later, I went in and I said, have you got the test graded yet? And he was sitting in the outer office with the secretary, and he said, well, I guess I better go grade these tests before Teresa gives me a D. I was like, you know, I did that. I didn't want anyone to know I did that, but they all knew I did that because I was the only one building web pages in the whole computer science department. Nobody had started building web pages as a business then. So, I mean, I was doing web pages as a business, and he knew I was the only one building web pages. So that's Teresa that did that. That's when the computer science department, though, fell in love with me the most. Because look at her go. Holy shit. You know? Now they don't leave email addresses all out so everybody can see them. But back then they did, and I'm part of the reason why they don't. So that's the kind of things that I did to get back at them But I still struggled with math. I continued to struggle with math. And it was the beginning of my junior year when I was really starting to think, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. I keep retaking these classes and failing them with worse grades than I had the previous time. So I went into the dean of the math department. I made an appointment to go talk to him, and I went into his office, and I was just sitting there crying, you know, trying to say, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And the dean of the math department, while I'm sitting in his office crying, said to me, well, maybe, you know, maybe you should quit. College isn't for everyone, honey. Maybe you should just quit. That's what the dean of the math department told me. Maybe you should just quit. I'm sitting there crying, I don't know what I'm going to do. And he said that, and my head came up like, what the fuck? Did you just, huh? What? You want me to quit? I mean, I went from crying to what the fuck? I should quit? No. Quitting's not the answer. You tell me I should just quit? No. That's not the answer. I'm making it through. Quitting is not a fucking option. And I left his office. That was the beginning of my junior year. And I had been given, when they psychologically tested me in my freshman year and did the IQ test on me, they said that we will sponsor you for a degree in computer science, but you have to go to therapy. You have to go to talk therapy. And I was okay with that. Sure, I'll go to talk therapy. I don't have a problem with that. I know I'm fucked up. You know, I'll take all the therapy I can get. And so that was part of the criteria that I get the help from the state of Texas for college, is that I go to talk therapy. And I had been in talk therapy with the therapist there and graduated. You know, we made a lot of really good progress. He helped me deal with a lot of my past traumas, like my mother and my ex-husband and the rapes. He helped me. Actually, I didn't talk to him about the rapes. But he helped me deal with a lot. I mean, I was really doing well. I had graduated. I wasn't seeing him regularly anymore. And so I went back to him and I said, I freak out in these exams. I know the material, but when I take the exam, I keep getting worse grades than the year before, you know? I mean, and so he taught me how to do this relaxation therapy, where he recorded it and gave me the tape. And he taught me through this relaxation step that was just a matter of tightening all the muscles in my body and releasing them, and only focusing on tightening the muscles in my body one at a time and releasing them, while I listened to his voice on my headset tell me, now tighten your right leg, now tighten your left leg, now tighten your stomach muscles. And all you think about for 15 minutes before you go into a test is that voice in your ear and the sequence of just tighten your muscles one at a time. And the first time I tried it, I went into an empty classroom and listened to that test right before I was to go in for my calculus test. And I had gotten a 32 on my previous exam in that class. And in the exam that I went into, I got an 87. An 87. That's how big the turnaround was, just from practicing the relaxation techniques. And so, yay! Thank God I didn't have any more math problems. I still had to work really hard to learn the concepts and stuff, because math doesn't come easy for me. But I didn't have trouble with tests anymore. And everybody was amazed. One of my computer science professors called me in his office and said, I understand that you've just had some success with test anxiety. I'd like to talk to you about it because my daughter has the same problem. And I just told him, yeah, that's all there is to it. And it absolutely made 150% difference. I went from flunking every math test I was taking to getting a high B or an A on everything. The first math class that I aced completely and got an A in was linear algebra. You guys look that shit up. Linear algebra is no joke. And I got an A. And the people who graduated with high honors at my university for being so smart got C's. Professor was really mad at them for not doing well. But me, the one who didn't graduate with honors, aced that fucking class. I didn't graduate with honors because of all the bad grades I got before I got over my test anxiety. And if I had listened to the dean of the math department at Midwestern State University in Wichita Falls, Texas, I would still be managing restaurants. So I turned everything around. It was incredible. And so the next part of my college journey gets to the point where it starts to get close to time for me to graduate. I had a really close relationship with the doctor who was my advisor because I was his first student to be an advisor for. The first time he had a student to advise, it was me. And so, and I took my first computer science class from him. So I had a close relationship with him. And as we turned the corner into my last semester, I told him that I was putting my resume out. Back then, putting your resume out on the internet was a brand new thing to do. CareerBuilder.com, and there was another one, I forget what it was called. There was CareerBuilder and one other one that you could put your resume out on. And I told him I was going to put my resume out because I was planning to graduate in May. And this professor told me everybody throughout my entire college degree underestimated me every single time. Every single thing I wanted to do or said I was going to do, every single time they discouraged me. It was nobody had the faith in me that I have in me. And so I put in January, I was ready to graduate. I was planning to graduate in May, and in January I put my resume. He's like, no, you don't know what happens if you don't graduate. I was like, Dr. Passos, I'm sorry, but I am graduating. I'm done with this shit, okay? Yes, I have some kind of Stockholm Syndrome love for this place, but I do not know why. I am graduating in May. So he told me not to put it out, but I did. Sure enough, in February, I got an email from Lockheed Martin saying, I found your resume on CareerBuilder, and I would like to know when is a good time that I can call so I can talk to you about some career opportunities at Lockheed Martin. I'm in my last semester of college, and I put that on my resume. If you really looked at my resume carefully, you would see that I was still in college. But I also put computer science, and I put management experience, because prior to going to college, I had been a manager at everything I had done. So I put manager experience and computer science, and that's why they emailed me, because they thought I was a mid-level manager with a computer science degree. And really, I was a mid-level manager that just got a degree without having a high school diploma or is about to graduate. So I emailed her back. I was so excited. Yay, Lockheed Martin. Oh my God, that's like a fucking dream. Working for Lockheed Martin, are you kidding me? So I emailed her back, and I was so excited. I said, oh, yes. Here's my school schedule. Just let me know when you want me to be home throughout these times so I don't have to miss a class, and I'll be here so you can call. And they didn't reply. And I thought, oh, you thought I was somebody with mid-level computer science experience. You did not realize I'm still in college. So I emailed her again. She didn't respond. I called her from home, and she didn't answer. And I thought, listen, you said in your email that you wanted a few minutes of my time to talk to me about Lockheed Martin opportunities. And I'm going to get the few minutes of my time. Some reason, I don't know why, I realized she must have seen caller ID and saw it was me and didn't pick up. And she's not responding to the email because she's not looking for somebody still in college. Dyslexia. I know what Okay, Becky, thank you. And so Um, Now I lost my train of thought. So anyway, I told her, I'm thinking to myself, bullshit, bullshit. You said you wanted a few minutes of my time, and you're going to get a few minutes of my time. So I went to college, and I had become friendly with the secretary in the math department, and math and computer science were, they're hand in hand, really. So the secretary worked for both. And I went in, she was an older woman, and I told her, I'm going to go down the hall. I have a chance to get an interview with Lockheed Martin. I'm going to go down the hall and use the payphone to call this recruiter. And I think she's going to answer the phone because she won't know that it's me. She won't know who it is because I'm calling from a payphone. She won't see the caller ID resolves to anywhere. And I want to do a phone interview with her. Can I give her the number for one of these offices here? Oh, can I give her your number to call back and do the interview on the phone here at your desk, is what I said. I want to call her. I want to give her your number. I'm sure if I can get a chance to talk to her that she'll want to talk to me. But I want to be able to give her the school number so I can just come down to your office instead of going home to talk. Oh, she said, I'll do better than that. I'll put you in one of these offices and act like I'm your secretary and forward the call through. I was like, fucking So she did that. Actually, I went down to the payphone and I called the Lockheed Martin number, recruiter number, and she answered the phone. I was right. She was avoiding me with caller ID. And I said, hello, this is Teresa Radke. I received an email from you last week, and you said that you wanted a few minutes of my time to talk about opportunities with Lockheed Martin. And I am here now, able to talk about opportunities with Lockheed Martin. If you'd like to call me back at this number, I can talk to you from my office at school. And she said, oh, well, okay, what's the number? And I gave her the number for the math department receptionist and hung up and ran down the hall so fucking fast. Peeked my head in the door and said, she's calling now, where do I go? And she said, go into the Dr. what was his name? Dr. Tucker's outer office. Not Dr. Tucker, it was a different. She had me do that interview in the outer office for the dean of the computer science department. And his door was open. So I went into what would be his secretary's office, but nobody was working in there, and sat down at that phone and answered it when Lockheed Martin called. And he got to sit with that open door and listen to me ace that fucking interview a year and a half after he told me to drop out. That was really sweet. She said, I aced the interview. It was awesome. She said, I am the mid-career recruiter. I can't hire you, but I can pass your resume over to the college recruiters because we really like you. And the college recruiter contacted me and set up a chance for me to fly to Washington, D.C., and they flew me to Washington, D.C., all expenses paid, and wined. And this is in February. I'm not set to graduate until May. All expenses paid to Washington, D.C., for I could see the Capitol building. I opened my curtains in Washington, D.C. I was staying in a hotel in Crystal City. I was overlooking the Capitol building. It was so awesome. I got to go. It was like an interview fair. They had managers from like 50 different programs at this convention center thing, and you just walked around and went into different interviews. You never know until you go, for the good or the bad. That's right. I went into all these interviews and they said, okay, we'll let you know, and they sent me home. And it was less than a week after I got home, I got a letter from Lockheed Martin with not just one job offer, but 3. And I got to micro interview with 3 managers and pick which one I wanted to go to work for. And I picked which one I wanted to go to work for, and then I told them, I don't have money to relocate. And they said, well, we're giving you this relocation package. And I was like, I can't do a relocation package. I mean, I can do a relocation package, but what are you going to do when you get me to DC? Put me under the George Washington Bridge? I mean, what the fuck am I going to do when I get there? When this semester ends, I have no money. I told my professor that, and he said, oh, no, don't ask for a bonus, Teresa. First of all, before I went for the interview, okay, this is the guy who's supposed to be counseling me, right? I told him I got an interview, and he's like, okay, but just be prepared for disappointment. If you don't get hired, don't be disappointed. How are you with disappointment? You're not gonna get this. Basically, they were telling me I wasn't gonna get the job, and then I got 3 job offers. So I went back to my counselor again, and I said, I'm going to have to turn the job offers down. And he said, why? Are you crazy? And I said, well, because I don't have money. You know, I'm going to get there, and it's going to be a month before I get a paycheck. And I have to have a place to live. I have to have transportation. I don't even own a car. I've been riding a bicycle for the last 2.5 years. Haven't you noticed? You know? And he was like, oh, God, no, Teresa, don't ask for a signing bonus. You will not get a signing bonus. Don't ask for a signing bonus. I said, I have to ask for a signing bonus. I don't have anybody to borrow money from. And I went and asked for a signing bonus. I said, I am really appreciative for these job offers. I want you to know I really am appreciative. But I cannot take it without a bonus. Because I'm a student. I'm a poor, starving student. When the semester is over, the cash is gone. There's not money to even pay next month's rent. That's how it goes when you're in school. And they said, okay, we'll get back to you. Then they came up with a signing bonus. And I got to go back to that professor and say, I got a signing bonus. Have a nice fucking day. None of you people ever believe in me. What the hell? What the hell? And I got the signing bonus, and the last day of class, the last day of finals for me to take my last final exam, like a week before graduation, I went into the computer science math department and got on the elevator. And who was I on the elevator with but the dean of the math department? And he says, well, hi, Teresa. I said, hi. He said, I hear congratulations are in order for you. And I said, yeah, isn't it cool? I'm so excited. I got a great job. Isn't it great? And he said, yeah, how'd you get that job? Like he wants to know, I want to know how'd you get that job? I said, that job found me, honey. I didn't find it. And I walked the fuck out. You think I'm going to tell you how I got that job? You told me to drop out, you rotten son of a bitch. I'm not telling you how I got that job so you can help some other spoiled motherfucker get ahead. I'm an old fat lady who you wanted to throw out with the goddamn trash. I'm not telling you how to get a job. I got the job for myself. Nobody in this fucking school helped me get that job. Right? That's right. I did shit like, I noticed that all of the I used to think if you've got a master's degree, you know, you really know your shit. If you've got a master's degree, oh my God, you must be super good. Until I got into upper level classes, taking classes with master's candidates and watching all of them copy off of my work as a senior, as a computer scientist. I've got master's candidates copying off of me during a fucking exam. Are you kidding me? And they're going to go off and get a better job than I'm going to get because they've got a higher ranking degree than I do. And this professor, this guy in my fucking discrete dynamic system simulation class, this professor, this guy sitting next to me copied off of my exams. I outscored him on every single exam and on every single homework. And he got an A and I got a B. And if I had gotten an A, and I was only 1 point away from getting an A, And if I had gotten that A, then it would have made my total overall GPA, stop it, Gonzo, a B instead of a C. I graduated with a C GPA, but I got a job, 3 job offers from Lockheed Martin. But if this son of a bitch in my discrete dynamic system simulation class had given me the fucking A that I deserved, like he gave master's candidates free A's, I would have had a B in my overall GPA. So I was a little pissed off about that, and I went in to talk to him, and he said, sorry. And I said, why do the master's candidates get a free letter grade? They copy off of me, and I outscore them, and they still get a better grade? That's bullshit. And he said to me, this topic is not open to discussion with you. I am not entertaining this discussion. I was just trying to understand. I wasn't angry. I wanted him to explain to me how this is right. And all he said was, I'm not discussing this with you. It's not open for discussion. So I made a t-shirt because, I'm a graphic artist. That was a circle, and around the outside of the circle it said MS, meaning master's degree, in BS, MS, meaning master's degree, in CS, meaning computer science. So MS in CS around the outside, and in the inside it said BS in big fucking letters with a red, it was a red circle with the, not sign drawn through it, and it said bullshit in the middle. And I wore that to every single one of his fucking classes that I took for the rest of the year. A master's degree in computer science at MSU is bullshit. And I have no respect for master's candidates or even doctorates because of that experience. And I did not go back and get my master's degree because it's bullshit. It's bullshit that really pissed me off anyway. So I walked, after, it only took me 4.5 years to complete a computer science degree, despite failing so many classes or getting so, because I had to retake because I went to both summers. And I graduated on May 12th, 2001. And on May 15th, movers were there to load my belongings into a moving truck. And on May 23rd, I started to work for Lockheed Martin in the Washington, D.C. area out of college. So, but every single bit of my college experience, every single bit of my getting a degree, every single bit of me getting that job at Lockheed Martin, all of that was sheer will and determination. I had to fight against motherfuckers through the entire experience. But you have to be your very best cheerleader. No, she decided she wanted to stay and be a gangbanger. She finished high school the same year I finished college. And she stayed in Wichita Falls, Texas to work at a titty club and hang out with gangbangers. And a year later, she got into trouble and she was about to get sent up the river for writing hot checks. And I was working at my new assignment and I heard that she was in trouble, and I made a deal with the DA that I would come get her and get her out of there and he would never see her again. And he said, okay. So I drove to Wichita Falls. I'm brand new in my job. I've only worked there for 8 months, and I have to drop everything and drive across country and rescue her, load all of her stuff in my car. And she really did have it made. She had it made. She could have gone with me to DC, cleaned her act up, turned her life around, been a decent human being, and had it made. I got hired making $60,000 a year. If she hadn't been such a rotten little awful child, but she's just like her dad. I mean, she's got my smarts too, but she could have had it made. And she did have it made for 7 years while I worked. She's been through hell. Don't get it wrong. She's been through hell, but she's made her bed. Right now she's doing okay. She caused a lot of issues for me. But you have to understand, some things happened to her when she was at a tender age. Some things happened to her that I wasn't aware of that screwed her up. And I never understood why she was the way she was, but now in retrospect, I realize why she was the way she was. So I really don't want to do too much talking shit about her. I don't want to sit here and throw blows at my grandson's mother. She's doing well right now. That's the only thing that matters. She lives in the Washington, D.C. area. She works at a casino there. She's a dealer. And my grandson is, he'll be 17 in July. I hope to someday have a relationship with my grandson. I really do. I really do. But that's that. That's my college story. I mean, there's a lot more detailed shit that happened, but those are the most interesting points. And, you know, here's the thing that really gets me is I have had to... I'm glad she's better for my grandson, too. Yes. I am glad she's better. I don't know if she's better, but I know that she figured out how to make her life. But it's not just promiscuity. It was, I don't want to out her. This is being recorded. She watches my channel, even though we don't speak. I know she watches when I post videos. I will have a relationship with Taterbug. I will. I know I will. And I know it's going to be great. And my daughter knew that too. And that's why she separated us, because she was jealous and insecure. She has good reason to be jealous and insecure. And I will never, ever have a relationship with my daughter again, but I will have a relationship with my grandson if it's the last thing I do. I really will. I would love to be a positive influence in his life. Yes, it is good that she's doing well. Although I don't know how the casino industry is doing right now in DC. I know it's going to be so much cool. Oh, it's going to be so awesome. Oh, it will be so awesome. I did a TikTok video hoping that I get to see him on TikTok someday. Maybe he'll see my videos. You know, I haven't met him, but I have... Oh, yes, he will. I'll be a great grandma. I really will. I will be a great grandma for him. But anyway, first we've got to get through this election. We've got to get this vote certified so we can throw him out on his ass. That's what we've got to do. And I've got to find my hair tie. I know he loved me back when I was able to see him. He and I were building up in my bedroom. We were building this little office space, and I had my computer and he had his computer, and we would sit up there and he would sit in his little chair beside me and act like he was shuffling papers while I worked, and we would have conversations and all this stuff. And I went to work and came home the next day, and she was in my bedroom taking my desk apart, and Taylor was in her room having a temper tantrum because my daughter dismantled our office workspace that day so that we couldn't hang out and have fun. She wanted to make absolutely damn sure that he didn't love me because she's afraid that he won't love her if he loves me. And the reason he won't love her is because what she's done to him. But that's all I'm going to say. That is all I'm going to say. I'm not going to sit here on a public forum and throw body blows. Yes. Yes. She was born, my grandson is a black transsexual. And he was born in July 2006. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So he's real smart. She very well could be watching this now because I can't see who's watching. It's not like on TikTok where you can see who's watching. I can't see who is watching, and I can't even see who liked. Likes and watching are private. But I do know that my daughter watches my YouTube because she violated several videos that I had of my granddaughter up, and YouTube took them down and I lost them forever. I had a bunch of videos of my granddaughter up from when she was little, and my daughter got them all shut down. So I know she watches my YouTube. Hi, Callie. I'm happy. Callie, look. Callie, look. Look. I'm happy. I'm not old. I'm not fat. I'm not ugly. Everybody doesn't hate me. And I didn't kill myself like you wanted me to. Have a nice day in your miserable existence. I'm happy. Hi, Catherine Jones. Nice to see you. Oh, I will just stay home. Thank you, Lisa. Well, here's the thing. I can be pretty scary. When I'm unmedicated, I'm not an angel. I wasn't a perfect parent. I really wasn't. But I wasn't nearly as bad as she is. And she knows it. She fucking knows it. She knows it. Yes, she had some bad experiences that set her up to be the monster that she is. But that doesn't change the fact that she's a fucking monster. You see that, Callie? You hear that, Callie? Doesn't change it. Anyway. I just said her name. I shouldn't have said her name. Anyway, good morning, okayest mom. It doesn't change it. It doesn't change it, nor does it excuse it. You're a fucking an adult, and you had your own choices, and you knew right from wrong. So everything that you did, Miss Callie, you knew better. You knew better. I didn't raise you like that, and you fucking know it. Anyway, that's that. I'm ready to go back over to TikTok. I've been on here for an hour. I love you guys. I am sorry. I don't want to go into that part yet. I want to save that information about what exactly happened between myself and my daughter for a book much later. 25 now. There's 25 people viewing. I want to save that information for a book much later. I don't want to save it. I don't want to let it out here on a live. It'll be on a book. These are the hooks for my book. I'm hoping a publisher. You're welcome. I enjoyed it. I'm going to get another cup. I'm going to refill my coffee, and I'll see you over on TikTok. Love you guys. Happy story time.